In an interview in New York Magazine, Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa, made some interesting comments about Kobe and winning NBA titles. Here's what she said. I certainly would not want to be married to somebody that can't win championships. Okay. If you're sacrificing time away from my family and myself for the benefit of winning championships, then winning a championship should happen every single.
Imagine stepping behind the iron gates of Kobe Bryant's Newport Coast fortress, where hidden rooms and secret passages allegedly whisper the untold truths of the Mamba mentality, obsession, control, and a life sealed tighter than a championship defense. For years, the mansion was known only through a few carefully released photographs, its full design hidden from the public eye. But new accounts from insiders, contractors, and close associates suggest it wasn't just a home. It was a meticulously engineered reflection of Kobe's psyche. Each space, from the marble-floored foyer to the shadowed private wings, seemed to carry a coded message about the man who built an empire through focus, secrecy, and precision.
Kobe Bryant and his wife Vanessa, the now retired Kobe Bryant. So I've got to ask her the first question. What's it like having him hanging around all the time?
We love it.
You do love it?
Yeah, we actually do. We got used to him being around the last 3 seasons because of his injuries.
Right.
Yeah, so it's great having him home.
I know you guys are expecting a third daughter, so congratulations. I can highly recommend that.
We've learned that after Kobe's retirement in 2016, his Newport Coast mansion evolved into something more than a family residence. Insiders familiar with the project claim that he oversaw structural changes himself, sketching revisions on blueprints and demanding complete confidentiality from staff through signed NDA agreements. They describe hidden corridors running beneath the estate, escape routes designed not for luxury, but for strategy. Every inch had a purpose, one source familiar with the build reportedly said, adding that Kobe viewed his home as a living organism, something that could adapt as his mindset did. For those who knew him best, this house wasn't a retreat. It was an extension of the same ferocious control he displayed on the court. Behind those limestone walls, the atmosphere was said to shift between warmth and intensity. Friends of the Bryant family recall how Kobe's wife Vanessa curated soft, family-centered interiors, while Kobe's private zones took on a stark minimalism. The gym, the office, and the inner study formed what insiders called the triangle, spaces symbolizing body, strategy, and creation. The deeper one went, the quieter it became, until the silence reportedly felt engineered, almost tactical. Contractors whispered that the master suite was designed with soundproofing so dense that even a helicopter flying overhead couldn't be heard. The symbolism was unmistakable. Outside noise didn't penetrate Kobe Bryant's world.
I don't feel I deserve any credit because it's all through him, and I'm so proud of him, and that just the way he pulls through things, and just how he's so independent, and just how he has so much confidence and doesn't need anybody in there. You know what I mean? It's I'm really, really proud of him.
And you guys have gone through so much yourselves in terms of dealing with us, obviously, and dealing with just getting engaged and so on and so forth. So the culmination of this, where you, I know we can't help it, but the culmination of it all now is that he's an NBA champion and you're about to be married to one. What do you think about that?
Attention to isolation makes sense when we trace his history. Following the 2003 scandal that nearly derailed his career, Kobe became increasingly private, creating a buffer between his public image and personal life. By the time he moved full-time into Newport Coast, the fortress-like mansion was both protection and proclamation. Reports suggest reinforced glass, biometric locks, and panic rooms built into the upper level. But what caught investigators' attention years later were the rumors of a sealed chamber located beneath the gym, allegedly a secure archive room filled with trophies, scripts, and unreleased creative work. Sources claim this vault was his mental lab, where he wrote outlines for projects produced through his company Granity Studios.
He and I saw each other about 3 weeks before he passed away, when we were both partying in Hollywood for New Year's Eve, and it was the happiest I had ever seen him. It was the first time in all the years that I've known him, and I had known him since 1996, and it was the first time that I ever saw him where he was feeling no pressure.
The existence of that space became a point of fascination after Kobe's helicopter tragedy in January 2020. As federal teams investigated the crash, they also visited the Newport property for asset assessment, and those who entered reportedly described the interior as eerily symbolic. Every object appeared intentional, from motivational phrases etched into the gym's foundation to a private staircase linking directly to the office where he once kept a working model of the Oscar he won for Dear Basketball. To some, it felt less like a home and more like a psychological blueprint, the ultimate expression of a man consumed by mastery. We can't ignore how Kobe's control extended beyond his own space. Vanessa Bryant, now managing both his estate and the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation, has taken charge of preserving his legacy. Her recent social media posts, where she dismissed unfounded pregnancy rumors using a Rihanna meme, revealed how fiercely she protects her privacy even now. It's that same shielded approach that once defined their life together behind those gates. According to former staff, Vanessa rarely allowed outsiders into the main residence. Family visits were planned like high-level briefings. Even close friends like Pau Gasol reportedly entered through service courtyards rather than front entrances. Meanwhile, Kobe's eldest daughter, Natalia, continues to carry fragments of that legacy.
The message you have to people at home about staying strong and leaning on each other. What is that message? Like, what have you learned about how to be strong and continue and succeed?
I mean, honestly, I've learned the most just from each other. I think just being able to rely on each other and be there for each other has been like the biggest inspiration.
Just this year, she served as creative director for the LA Lakers preseason hype video, weaving in archival clips of her father's 2006 playoff heroics. The production reportedly took place in part of Granity's former editing suite, where Natalia preserved her father's work ethic through storytelling. Her involvement in film and media seems to echo the environment she grew up in, those hidden studios and projection rooms tucked into the Newport estate. The mansion wasn't just a residence, it was an incubator for creative ambition, passed down like inheritance. But there's more to the story than architectural genius and family privacy. According to sources close to the designers, several structural features were added during Kobe's final years. Narrow vertical passages between floors, coded locks, and sections of walls that opened into concealed rooms. These weren't conventional panic spaces. They were said to represent symbolic control, places where Kobe could disappear completely from the world. One contractor claimed the blueprint included an observation chamber beneath the main terrace, aligned with ocean-facing windows, designed for reflection and meditation. Whether these claims are exaggerated or not, they match everything we know about Kobe's inner discipline, the relentless search for balance between motion and stillness.
So proud of him. I knew he was gonna come through, and he did it. He did it, and I knew it. I knew this was it.
Was it difficult to sit there and watch this go on?
Yeah, I cried. I cried the whole fourth quarter. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink anything. I was just chilling. That's it.
These guys did such a great job this year, and obviously he says he gives you a lot of credit for sort of keeping him calm and relaxed. Is that kind of a nice feeling to have from him from that angle?
As we look at the details that have surfaced since his passing, the image of the Newport mansion grows more complex. The private gym mirrored his physical obsession. The film room revealed his creative hunger. The shark-lit office reflected his strategic dominance. Yet insiders insist there was one final locked chamber, an area Vanessa reportedly kept closed since 2020. Rumor has it, this room contains unfinished film reels, handwritten notes, and unproduced projects Kobe was developing under a new company name. Some even suggest that what's inside could reshape how we understand the man the world thought it knew. We've also heard talk that this hidden trove may include recordings from his personal training sessions with Gianna at the Mamba Sports Academy, along with never-released footage from their private court at the Newport property. If true, those materials could offer an unseen portrait of their bond, revealing how deeply Kobe fused family and ambition. Investigators involved in the post-crash estate inventory have never confirmed such archives, but the absence of denial keeps curiosity alive. Every locked door, every coded keypad, every whisper from those who once worked there adds to the mythology. And just when we think the mysteries end at the vaults and labs, new reports surface about a private wing rumored to contain advanced motion sensors and projection screens.
So we're incredibly proud of him. And there's some solace in knowing that he was probably going to be a part of the 2020 Hall of Fame class.
Vanessa and Natalia, we continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and we marvel at your strength. And congratulations on Kobe's election.
Some claim it was an experimental visualization room where Kobe practiced mental repetition techniques, replaying plays in 3 dimensions to train focus. Whether these accounts are embellished or not, the parallels to his game day rituals are too striking to ignore. The Newport mansion wasn't simply an achievement of wealth. It was an instrument of power, built to sustain a mindset that refused compromise. But as we follow this trail through marble halls and locked doors, another question rises. If every room mirrored Kobe's control, what happens when that control ends? What did those who inherited his fortress uncover in the aftermath? Because behind the pristine facade, there are whispers of deeper layers, papers sealed, rooms untouched, projects frozen in time. And if these walls could talk, what darker secrets might they reveal about the control that defined Kobe's empire? Secrets that could rewrite his legacy forever.
Is Mom here tonight?
No, my mom isn't here. I'm actually so sad she couldn't be here.
Why can't she?
She's at home with my sisters. Yeah, holding down the fort. You know.
I mean, but she, like, when she saw you, what was her reaction?
Oh my gosh, she was so stunned, and I just felt so happy that she was able to see this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Inside that sealed estate, we begin to sense a rhythm, an architecture of control that never truly ended. According to insiders who once worked near the lower studios, the rooms were rebuilt after 2019 into creative sanctuaries. They claim Kobe had planned for them to double as recording and editing spaces, later used by Natalia for her cinematic projects after enrolling at the University of Southern California. The soundproofing, reportedly thicker than standard studio walls, ensured that no noise escaped those chambers. Some see that design as a father's foresight, providing a place for artistic focus. Others, including former associates tied to Granity Studios, whisper that it reflected something deeper, a lingering instinct to shield his family from a world that never stopped watching.
Vanessa, what does Kobe's election into the Hall of Fame mean to you and your daughters?
It's an incredible accomplishment and honor, and we're extremely proud of him. Obviously, we wish that he was here with us to celebrate, but it's definitely the peak of his NBA career and every accomplishment that he had as an athlete.
We've heard that those same creative spaces were upgraded just months before the 2020 helicopter tragedy. Installation teams allegedly brought in advanced acoustic panels, motion sensors, and a new internal surveillance system routed through a single private server. One contractor described the network as invisible, monitored only through encrypted devices belonging to Kobe himself. If that's true, then few outside his circle ever had access. The details mirror what many have called his lifelong pattern of containment, building privacy not only through walls, but through systems of selective entry. It's no coincidence, insiders argue, that this need for control intensified after 2003, when public scrutiny reached its harshest peak. The aftermath of that courtroom storm left its mark on everything Kobe built afterward. From his NBA return through his post-career ventures, he seemed to manage every narrative like a defensive play. Those who visited the Newport mansion say that even trusted guests went through silent gate protocols, facial recognition scans, and remote locks that could be engaged from a phone. The guest logs allegedly show only a handful of high-level visitors, Jerry West, Phil Jackson, and occasional former teammates who remained in his inner circle. It was, as one source put it, a hall of mirrors disguised as a home. Public tributes in the years since have painted Kobe's life in bright tones of inspiration.
With all due respect, that is not what she said. She didn't talk about him and his misery. She talked about hers. She said, I expect you to win every year. You understand what I'm saying? She intimated that anything less is unacceptable. Well, she has basically said that when he doesn't win, he's tough to deal with. She's tough.
Magic Johnson, Shohei Ohtani, and Natalia herself all honored his legacy through collaborations with the Lakers, Nike, and film projects. But while the world celebrated those moments, insiders maintained that behind the scenes, Vanessa kept the Newport property sealed, allowing no filming inside. The mansion became symbolic, a silent barrier between the myth and the memory. We can sense the duality, the public empire glowing under purple and gold lights, and the private fortress that refused to open even for Hollywood's most powerful figures. Sources close to the family describe how, in the wake of 2020's loss, a transformation took place inside those walls. They speak of a new corridor added quietly within the property, lined with framed photographs and digital screens looping clips of Gianna's basketball sessions. A private memorial, never shown to the public. Yet others insist that those same renovations included the addition of fog-proof lighting and high-altitude navigation maps, a chilling detail that some interpret as both tribute and obsession. Could these features have been symbolic preparations for control? A reflection of the tragedy's haunting circumstances? Or were they something Kobe had already envisioned long before that morning flight? The mystery only deepens when we hear of the so-called Sunset Terrace, a secluded patio facing the Pacific. According to neighbors, this was where Kobe often meditated during dusk, sometimes joined by Vanessa during anniversaries. After his passing, reports surfaced that Vanessa continued the ritual, marking those evenings with quiet reflection. Some who have seen it describe candles arranged in patterns resembling a basketball court. Others say it's simply a serene spot for prayer. Either way, the symbolism is striking, a view of endless horizon, framed by the walls of a home designed to keep the world away. Meanwhile, tension continues to ripple through how the property is represented publicly.
I talk to her every single day and just, continue to pray for her and stay positive for her. I tell her every day she's the strongest woman I know. And I'm really, really proud of just how she's handling everything and just want to continue to be there, as much as I can for her as a friend. She's just an amazing human being, just amazing.
Real estate brokers claim the Bryant mansion has been valued at figures exceeding $30 million. But any talk of sale is quickly dismissed. Vanessa reportedly maintains it as a family museum, visited only by close friends and legal representatives tied to the Mamba and Mambacita Foundation. This exclusivity fuels speculation that rooms remain sealed, their contents untouched since early 2020. If true, the fortress has become not just a home, but a time capsule, preserving the final version of Kobe's inner world exactly as he left it. We can't ignore how this mirrors his approach to competition. Kobe always sought total awareness, every variable controlled, every weakness corrected. Even in architecture, that precision persisted. The mansion's orientation follows a mathematical grid aligned to sunrise angles, something confirmed by architectural schematics leaked from a former designer. Whether symbolic or functional, it fits the image of a man who believed success depended on structure. Yet the more we learn, the more those structures start to look like emotional armor.
And you started school, right?
Yes.
How is it going? Congratulations.
No, I'm loving everything. I feel like this whole year flew by so fast.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Was it everything you expected?
It was everything I expected and honestly more. Like, it was just everything. So I'm so happy to be with everybody that I've just loved everyone that I've met.
We've come across a theory circulating quietly among those who worked with him during his recovery years. A belief that the Newport mansion's obsessive geometry and coded design actually originated from the months Kobe spent healing his torn Achilles tendon in 2013. Sources familiar with his rehabilitation claim that isolation reshaped his sense of control, turning physical pain into architectural order. They recall how the smallest sensations, pain thresholds, temperature changes, even light angles, were logged and studied, later inspiring features in the mansion meant to monitor and regulate balance. If true, the estate's rigid perfection wasn't just a display of wealth, it was a reflection of a body and mind that refused chaos, a private experiment in conquering weakness through design. We can't ignore how this interpretation complicates the myth of invincibility. Behind the strength, there may have been a man mapping out his vulnerabilities in marble and steel. The more we analyze the house's hidden corridors, the clearer it becomes that its beauty served a deeper purpose: control over uncertainty. Insiders suggest that the recovery years triggered a shift toward total self-management, extending beyond health into finance, image, and legacy. The gym became a metaphor for rebuilding muscle. The secure vaults, a way to safeguard the empires rising from his second act in business. The mansion wasn't just Kobe's fortress. It was his experiment in mastering fragility without ever admitting it existed. Adding to the speculation are whispers that some of those secured rooms once contained early planning documents for the Mamba Sports Academy and affiliated ventures, records that reportedly blurred the line between private investment and personal sanctuary. Several contractors have hinted that financial ledgers, licensing drafts, and project prototypes were stored within climate-controlled chambers off the lower level. None of this has been verified, but the timing aligns too neatly with the expansion of his post-retirement empire to ignore. The idea that pain, wealth, and secrecy could intersect inside one property leaves us wondering whether the Newport mansion was ever just a home, or whether it was the final vault of a man who turned every wound into a weapon.
She's amazing. I was there helping, doing everything I possibly can to make the process easier for my wife. And, but ultimately, she did all the work. I was just there just trying to help her out.
As the years move forward, new pieces of the story surface from unexpected sources. A former landscape artist claims that beneath the garden, a concealed walkway links the main house to a detached office used for foundation planning. Another worker insists there's a vault accessible only through biometric verification. These accounts remain unconfirmed, but they echo the same theme: control, secrecy, and the blending of practicality with mythology. The line between tribute and protection blurs until we can't tell which came first. Outside those gates, the narrative of Kobe's family continues to unfold in public light. Vanessa's Instagram presence has become both homage and defense, her posts blending affection with subtle defiance against gossip. Natalia's growing influence in entertainment, from Nike campaigns to film direction, feels like a continuation of her father's creative ambitions. But observers can't help noticing how carefully curated every appearance seems, how little of their private world escapes the frame. It's as if the mansion's philosophy, privacy as strength, has extended into the way the Bryants now navigate fame itself. And so, as these layers peel back, we find ourselves facing an image both inspiring and haunting. Behind the legendary determination lies a pattern of boundaries so precise they resemble strategy more than protection. The Newport fortress stands silent, its windows dark at night, its gates closed even as the world outside keeps asking questions. Could the secrets hidden inside still reshape how we understand the Mamba's final years? Could that fortress hold echoes of control that outlast his legend? Tell us what you think. Was it devotion, obsession, or something in between? Until next time, stay curious, stay watching, and remember, behind every legend, there's always another locked door waiting to be opened.